Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Self Love Sisterhood Q&A for the 5th of October 2022. A little day early, as it is the week of the Seven Sisters Festival. I am away tomorrow morning on the road by about 8 a.m. and I wasn't sure how the internet would handle it. I wasn't sure whether or not an hour into my trip tomorrow morning I would have enough internet to be able to do it remotely. So I figured that we would hang out today on today's Q&A. So welcome everybody watching the recording. We don't have anyone live today, so it might be a short one. It might be a short one for this morning. We will just see how it unfolds. Sometimes we do have some people come a bit later on in their morning. I want everyone to just go ahead and take a breath, or a few for that matter. Just closing down the eyes. Taking some conscious breaths. And I want you to notice what's happening in your mind, your thoughts. Just go ahead and observe your mind. We spoke into this last night, that overthinking is a sign of underfeeling. That when our brain, our mind is going haywire, there are emotions that we are not facing. So just notice what feelings are there. Now that you've noticed your thoughts, it might not be going haywire this morning. Notice the emotions. Because with that overthinking mind, the underfeeling is very unlikely to be feelings of joy, peace, calmness, elation, connection. They're likely to be feelings of anxiety, worry, stress, pain, fear, doubt, any of those kind of things. What emotions are beneath the surface for you right now? Now, very often when I do this, I need to even tilt my body forward. If sometimes I can't access the feelings, place my hand on my heart, because sometimes it can be difficult to know what's there. And repeat after me out loud. What feelings need to be seen right now? What feelings need to be seen right now? And just breathe. I think it's quite interesting that this is a position where prayer, from a religious perspective, we would tend to pray like this with our head down. It connects us with feeling. Check in with what emotions are there. What feelings are there? You might notice umbrella emotions like overwhelm, anxiety, stress. When we drill down into them more specifically, what else do you find? What's underneath overwhelm? What's underneath stress or anxiety? Giving you examples from my own feelings box. Yours may be different, of course. What's underneath anxiety and overwhelm for me is worry, expectation, uncertainty, regret, which is interesting. I didn't think that one was there. Fear, a whole bunch of fear. So knowing that these sensations are here, worry, expectation, regret, fear, go ahead and acknowledge these feelings. Hello, fear. Hello, worry. Hello, regret. Hello, expectation. I see you. I feel you. I know you're here. Thank you for showing me where my focus has been. Thank you for showing me what unconsciously I'm experiencing that I may not be aware of. I want you to know that no matter what happens, we are fully loved. We are fully supported. And just notice how that feels within your body. You may have an increase of the sensations of the emotions as they come to the surface louder. I just want you to breathe through it the same way that you might breathe through a period cramp. I've never given birth vaginally, but if you've ever had to, same way you might breathe through intense physical sensation, intense physical pain. Breathe energy into the area where the emotion is. For me, it's in my chest. Just be present with the emotion. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to think about it. Just feel the feelings, that fear, whatever it is for you. In my case, the fear, the regret, the expectation, and the worry, the uncertainty. Feel it traversing through your body. Taking a breath in now and giving yourself a wriggle. Oh, making some sound on the exhale. Oh, wriggling your body. Putting some movement in your body now. Oh, opening your eyes up. Maybe having a drink of water or green smoothie in my case. We all have emotions, my sisters. We all have feelings. We all have thoughts. And irrelevant of how far you are on your journey of self love, you have emotions. You have thoughts that may not be great. And I want to remind each and every single one of you that no matter how far you are along your journey, you still have a mind and you still have emotions. In fact, if you didn't have emotions, you would be classed as a sociopath. They are part of a healthy human experience to have a whole range of emotions. The more that you try to avoid those emotions, the more you are blocking their natural flow to come out and through you. This exercise that I've shared with you this morning is really about being able to reconnect you with the sensation of the emotion rather than getting caught up with the thought that's associated with it. Our thoughts communicate and dictate our feelings. Our feelings are indicators of where our thoughts have been. So if you're stressed, worried, if you have anxiety, fear, and doubt, check in with your thoughts. Where has your focus been lately? What have you been thinking about on a regular basis? What has been going about over and over again in your head? And take me, for example. So this week, I'm going to a festival tomorrow. It's been a couple of years since I've been to said festival. In fact, probably a couple of years since I've been to an audience that big, let alone speak at one. And as much as I love that, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it for me. Lots of preparation. There would be even as a participant in terms of getting organized, but once you're there, you get to relax. Once I'm there, that's when the work starts. So for me, there has been lots of preparation thoughts. There's been lots of making sure that I know what I'm talking about, making sure that I've got all the systems in place, making sure that I've now prepared for weather contingencies. Have I packed everything? Have I thought about everything through? And my brain wants to continue to stress about that. The thoughts are focused on any even kind of fear or uncertainty around the weekend, even though in my heart of hearts, in my being, I know 100% that all is well. All is good. I will show up. The systems will work. I will do my thing. I will roll it out as I need to be, and I will serve the way that I always do. What I want you to remember is that the ego, our mind, will always fear change. It always does. So it needs a leader. It needs us to lead it into a place of calm and a place of reassurance. If you had a child who was freaking out about going to school, the change, like going from kindergarten to year one. No, I don't want to. I want to stay a little kid, or I don't want to be potty trained, or I don't want to learn how to use knife and fork because we don't want to grow up. It's the same sensation. Would you tell that kid? Would you just ignore the kid's fear? Would you tell them to shut up? Would you just stop, just avoid the child whenever it was afraid? No. The same thing is true with us. When we are scared, when we have that fear and doubt and worry and expectation and guilt and all that, what we would call negative emotions that we don't like experiencing, if we ignore them, all that happens is you are teaching yourself that your feelings are not enough, that you are not okay, and that you should be ignored. You are rejecting yourself in the process. The best way for us to navigate this is to sit with our feelings. And once we've sat with our feelings, to redirect our thoughts. So once we've done that process where I've sat with, I might even ask, is there anything that you need from me? And right now, there's like a little being inside of me that's like, like just like a headless chook running around inside of my heart. And so I reassure it. I want you to know that all is well. And even by me reassuring and telling it all is well, what I'm also doing there is it's a cognitive experience of me changing my focus. All is well. All is well. Even mantras and incantations like all the certainty I need is within me now. I take my breath and I remind myself that all is well. That all is well. That all is well. My sisters, I'm going to leave it there for this morning. I haven't had anyone show up, no questions to answer. So I'm going to leave that with a short and sharp 15-minute little takeaway for this morning. I trust that it has been useful. I'd love to hear your comments about it. And of course, if you do have questions and you can't make the live Q&As, please pop them in to the group, because then I'll have something to answer when I get here. Because the whole purpose of the Q&A is to answer your questions, to have individual coaching if you would like that, if you want your own questions asked. Maybe if it's just you say, hey, I'm having troubles with XYZ, and I will coach you. Even if there's multiple people on the call, I will coach you. So that is a wonderful opportunity to have some of those niggling bits within inside of you. And yes, I'm not going to coach you for an entire hour, but I might for 20 minutes. Yeah. There's a lot of value that can happen in 20 minutes. So please feel welcome to pop your questions in, come to the Q&As. Let me know any feedback. Maybe the timing of the Q&As isn't working for you. We'll have a look into that because attendance has been quite low of late. So we'll touch base in the group with all of that just to see where you're at, because we do a transmission on Tuesday and the Q&A later on in the week. And yes, I'm not here to do two transmissions. I'm here to do a transmission and a Q&A to answer your questions. So always curious to know where yours are at. Let me know. And for those of you I'll see at Seven Sisters, absolute pleasure. I'll see you very, very soon. Look after yourselves, look after your emotions, decide where your thoughts are going, and I will see everybody else on the flip side. See ya.